This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming. What's going on, everybody? This is VinylicPuma, and today I'm back with another Borderlands the Pre-Sequel video for you guys, and specifically what I want to talk about today, maybe saying why Borderlands the Pre-Sequel failed is a bit of a strong way to say it, but I do think that Borderlands the Pre-Sequel is a black sheep of the Borderlands franchise, especially when you look at its predecessor, Borderlands 2. So I want to go ahead and discuss my thoughts on how I think that it got to that point. So let's go. Number 1. Serious glitches, technical and design issues. So first off, I'd like to say that I really like the low gravity versus high gravity mechanics. I like the Oz kits, I like lasers, and really there are a lot of things that I liked about the pre-sequel. I think it was a good contrast and a good addition to what is already a great formula. However, some of the technical issues that exist in Borderlands the Pre-Sequel are astounding. There are a lot of glitches, and I even remember there were some glitches when the game came out that made it to where you couldn't even finish the campaign in true Vault Hunter mode. And then, of course, let's not even talk about some of the design choices where there were unfarmable bosses, which thankfully they have addressed that, so that's awesome. But a lot of the legendaries were essentially ported over from Borderlands 2. Some of them just kept their same skins and were just given the same name. Not to mention that there are a lot of guns that are still in the base game's code that can't drop from any enemies. Let's look at the Wet Week, which is a sniper rifle. There's also the Machine, which is also another sniper rifle. And then, of course, the Lady Fist, as far as I know, doesn't even drop in game yet. And this game has been out since October. I mean, we're going on like 6 months here, and some of these guns still don't have a designated drop area. I wanted to also add one more thing before I wrap this section up, and that is simply that I thought it was kind of bizarre that they decided to nerf some of the weapons and gear before they fixed some of the glaring technical issues with Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. For example, they nerfed the Probe, and then they nerfed the Rosie, but they didn't fix the fact that the game crashes constantly on PC, even to this day. So, you know, I don't know why they did that, but they did that. So let's go ahead, and I want to go on to the next section that I want to talk about. Number 2, the alienation of the Borderlands modding community. I would suspect that one of the reasons that a lot of people bought Borderlands 2 was because they thought it was going to have mod support, even though it wasn't going to be official mod support. Before Borderlands 2 even came out, Randy Pitchford encouraged people to mod Borderlands 2. Like, the developers wanted people to mod the game to create new and interesting things. Now, there's also a Gameranx article that I'm going to link in the description, but it literally says, and this is the first sentence, and I quote, "Gearbox CEO and President Randy Pitchford has given modders his blessing for Borderlands 2, but discourages anyone from expecting an SDK release for the game." Not to mention that later on in the same article, and I quote, "The CEO hopes that the community will work to create tools for the franchise sequel, praising Borderlands modders for their ingenuity and for already willingly sharing their creations with other members of the fan community." Now, isn't it bizarre that if you go onto the official Gearbox forums that are moderated by who knows who, that if you even talk about creating tools to mod Borderlands 2 or Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, that you risk being banned from the forum? It's almost like there's a disconnect from what the developers of Borderlands want and what the forum moderators are moderating about. Now, yes, people have created modded weapons on the console versions of Borderlands 2, and that has since been patched. 99% of those guns are gone. They can't exist anymore. And to even use those on PC, you have to use a combination of the Gibbs Save Editor and Cheat Engine. Most people aren't going to even go to the trouble of even doing that. ultimately, I think it's a lose-lose situation because there are people that would probably like to mod Borderlands 2 and even Borderlands the pre-sequel, but they can't because they're probably going to get banned from the Gearbox forums. And, you know, maybe that's not a big deal to get banned from a forum, but I mean, no one else is going to get to see those mods that you've created. And it's not like there are a plethora of Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel mods on the Skyrim Nexus or the Dark Souls Nexus. So I just think it's really unfortunate. Number 3, not enough DLC. Now this is sort of weird to mention as a lot of gamers generally hate DLC. However, I think a lot of the Borderlands DLC has been done right. With Borderlands 1, they had 4 full campaign DLC add-ons, which were very fully featured and you could spend like 4 hours or more in. And then, of course, with Borderlands 2, they had 4 campaign add-ons. They had a second level cap DLC, which added the Digistruct Peak add-on for Endgame. Then, of course, they added 2 more characters, and then they had 5 Headhunter Pack DLCs, which were basically small levels you could complete in roughly an hour or 2, but the 5th one of those had Son of Gameranx, which was another raid boss that they added to the game, and that was really cool. Now, Borderlands the pre-sequel had 1 campaign DLC, and while it was awesome, I really liked the Claptastic Voyage DLC, it wasn't 4 campaign add-on DLCs. And yes, they did have 2 characters, which were very well made, and then the Arena DLC, which I honestly have mixed opinions about. It just wasn't the same amount of quality DLC that came out for Borderlands the pre-sequel, and I really wish that Gearbox and maybe 2K Australia had maybe waited a year on Borderlands the pre-sequel. Maybe they could have had 2, maybe 3 awesome campaign DLCs and then released that with the plethora of those 2 characters and then the Arena DLC. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to pretty much wrap up this video. This video was longer than normal. I do realize that, so I thank you for watching to the end. And also be sure to subscribe as there are some more Borderlands videos coming. I'm working on a Claptrap level 70 build that's going to be up at some point in the near future. But anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.